Hey, it's James and Michael from the Crypto Guys, and April is coming. What does that mean? If you're new to crypto, you've got to stick around to watch this video to the very end because we're going to tell you what April means and what it's going to mean for Bitcoin, and you could potentially do amazing, but you got to watch this video and make sure you subscribe. Michael, let's talk about this April, Bitcoin, and also what's going on right now.
Yeah, I'm bullish for April, and the reason I'm bullish is I will tell you why, the facts, right? I feel it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give you the facts. Okay.
You meditated. You had a Zen moment.
Yeah, I had an insight, right?
That's how we trade here.
It's all about feeling, James. Right? No, but when we look at Bitcoin, right? Like we may feel like, oh, we're getting rejected again at the 42. It seems like a lot of resistance, and that's true. But I am bullish for like April. And so, we're getting rejected here. We will probably find support here. And then this would be a good place to buy. Now, the reason I say that, okay, look, the narrative right now in Bitcoin is what? That the feds are raising the interest rate, right? And as a result, the big dump on the S&P 500 and, Bitcoin dumps and everything, that's been the narrative. But the story has already been laid out. The S&P, the feds told you they would raise 25 points 7 times, right? Blah, 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 right? 1.75% interest rate. We already know all that, right? So they already told us. So the fear is gone. There's no more fear. So now the question is, what everybody wants to know, what is the consequence when you raise the interest rate? And I've been talking about that on this channel for a long time, but I think today is the time where I just explain to you the correlation between raising the interest rates and the result on the S&P 500. So let me be very clear, okay? This green is this green line here is the S&P 500, okay? And this blue line is the interest rate as it rises, okay? So now people think if the interest rate will rise, then that means the market will crash. And that's not true. As we see that when they raise the interest rate, right? What happens to the S&P 500? It goes with it. It keeps going up. Unlike what most people think, every time they raise the interest rate, it goes up. Look at here. They raise it, right? And what happened? S&P 500 goes up, right? So now there's a peak where it consolidates. And after that, they lower the interest rate, right? They lower the interest rate here. And then the S&P 500 goes down. So what I'm saying, the price movement of the S&P 500 follows the fund rate. Fund rate goes up, price goes up. Fund rate goes down, price goes down, right? You've seen this again here. Look, fund rate goes down and S&P 500 goes down, right? And there's always a consolidation period on the top. So this has been going on for 20 plus years. You go back now. I know when you move this, it screws everything up, but that's why you have to move it in the perfect place. But the timing is right. Like they give you the specific date, 1st of April, right? You can see what happens. And this is a monthly chart. So we're looking at a macro level. Everything is clear, right? So unlike what most people think, raising the fund rate will not crash the markets. Fund rate goes up, markets go up. Okay, so that's my first point, why I'm bullish in April. All right. I'm not saying we're not going to go down at some point, but not right away. Now, the next point.
We also talked in yesterday's video, I think it was, you showed a chart about April's returns in Bitcoin over the years, and April is always the strongest month.
Yeah, that's right. I showed that last time. And if you want to go back to one of the videos and see that, April has been generally a good month. Thank you for reminding me of that. Now, listen, so why do I always talk about the S&P 500, right? Because, right, when the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When the S&P 500 goes down, the Bitcoin goes down. Last video we made, we said that it's a forward indicator. That the S&P 500 rather is a forward indicator. So you can use that to predict the future of what's going to happen with Bitcoin. So now what do we know? We know that the government is going to raise the interest rate. That's what we know. They told us 7 times, 25 basis points each time, up to 1.75%, right? They told us all that. So we already know the future. We know that S&P 500 is going to go up. So does that mean Bitcoin is going to go up? Yes, that's exactly what it means. But to show the people, right, how all of this works, we can see here, this is orange is Bitcoin and the blue is the S&P. And by the way, what do we see? When the blue line, S&P 500 goes up, what happens to Bitcoin? It goes up. When the blue line goes down, Bitcoin follows down as well, okay? So we know that whenever that happens, right? Now, I know if you go back, it will screw things up a bit, but you will know for most part, right, that it follows very closely. Bitcoin and the S&P 500 follow very, very, very closely. So when the markets do well, Bitcoin does well. When the markets don't do well, then the Bitcoin doesn't do well. So for those reasons, right? And because also I'll show you one more thing. This is important. This is also another chart that shows us when people are selling, right? Like all these big whales selling their investments, they're cash positive. And there's this line that whenever we get above this line, right, we see that now March 22, there's so much money. There's so much money in the markets right now. People, the whales, the rich people, they got all this cash. They don't want to keep the cash. They understand inflation, 7.9% inflation. That's not going away in a week. They don't want to lose, like if you got $1 billion, you don't want to lose, like 7.9 of a billion, that would be a $790 million you would lose just by holding cash, right? Like who wants to lose $790 million? That's too much. So there's a lot of money out there that's waiting for a home, right? It wants to go home. The money wants to go home and it's not on cash. So cash is waiting to invest somewhere. So the cash is about to get invested. And where are they going to go? It's going to go in the S&P 500. We can see that we broke the resistant, right? So you can see this was the resistant line, right? We got a lot of resistant here, and then Bitcoin went down and whammo, breakthrough. Once the fear was gone, cash is going into this. Now we may correct down back to the support. So that was resistant, now become support and then go up. Or we might, the S&P 500 might consolidate here for a while and then go up, okay? And a lot of times what that looks like is kind of a little bit of a downward pattern like this, right? And then it breaks through and it goes up. That's usually what it looks like when it consolidates, okay? And you can see it many different places, like right here, right? It goes down, right? And you have this little line and then it breaks through, poof, goes up, right? And every time it will do something like that in every consolidation. Okay, you can see it here. You create a little line, right? And then once it breaks through, poof, it goes up like crazy. So goes up, bounce on like support, then goes up. And it may be the case. Now, this is just another one of those times where it may be consolidating or going back to like support. So in the next few days, I'm a bit bearish. Yes, just get ready to buy DCA into it. But in April, we could see a bit of a pump for Bitcoin, for the S&P 500, starts to go up again. I'm not saying we're going back to the all-time high, but definitely a small pump, I would say like that. So good time to buy in the next few days. And definitely April should be a good month.
Yeah. And like always, this is not financial advice. You've got to do your own due diligence with all of your trading. But when you look at the data and when you look at the things that we talk about on this channel, what Michael's talked about even today, yesterday, go back and watch that video if you want, you can definitely see the trend. And again, trading is all about managing your risk and being able to look at trends, and human behavior is predictable. And so you got to remember that. And it's hard to predict things day by day, but when you zoom out, as we say, when in doubt, zoom out, you can make better trading decisions. So anyways, Michael, thanks.
And the trend is your friend. Don't forget that.
The trend is your friend. Yes, the trend is your friend.
When you're in doubt, zoom out. And remember, the trend is your friend until the very end.
That's right. That's right. Now, we're not opposed to you getting a flash of insight during a meditation session, but that's not how we trade, right? We like to look at the numbers. So anyways, yes. Good job, my friend. Good to chat with you.
Thank you. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Hope you've enjoyed today. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.
And trade from a happy place.
Good.